All right, now we welcome to the studio a man who knows the NBA inside out and upside down. He was the former general manager and president of the 76ers, and now he's the GM of the New Jersey Nets, Billy King. Billy, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, first of all, we've got to get you with your analyst hat on and get your reaction to the Knicks, because you actually picked the Knicks to win this series.
Well, I did, because I thought the Knicks could score a lot of points on the Boston defense. In the game itself, you look at the score, it was more towards Boston's favor. I think if the Knicks are going to win, they've got to get the tempo up and score more points to beat them.
You look at Carmelo Anthony, and I know he's a guy that you pursued as well in New Jersey, but what are your thoughts on him usually taking the big shot as he did tonight?
Well, that's the problem sometimes when you have two superstars like you do. It took Miami a while when they had Dwayne and LeBron for guys to realize who takes that shot. And but if you're Boston, you got to think, hey, we stole one. If you're Knicks, we got to say, well, we can play better. Because if you look at Carmelo, 15 points, you know, I think this is going to be a tough series. I still think the Knicks have a shot because they have a lot of offensive capabilities.
Is this the last stand for the four Celtics? I guess Rondo is still a kid, but the other three, you know, they're getting up there a little long in the tooth. So you wonder how many more runs they can have.
Well, and that's the thing about it. It reminds me of when the Celtics with McHale and Bird, when they got to the end, or Magic out in L.A., when you see it happening in Detroit Pistons, when they get to the end, you start seeing it. And these series used to be like where they swept the series. Now they go 7 games or 6 games.
All right, let's talk about the West today. Unbelievable to have the Spurs and the Lakers both lose their first game in the playoffs.
Well, if you look at San Antonio, Manu Ginobili didn't play. But Memphis is a young and upcoming team. And then the Lakers, that one is surprising because New Orleans without David West, but they did have Chris Paul, who had a great game. I still think the Lakers will be the team to beat. San Antonio worries a little bit because Ginobili being injured. They're not the same team without him.
And Kobe bruised his neck, although he had 34 points, so we don't know how that's going to impact the Lakers going forward here. They lose the ball game by 9, so to see the Spurs and the Lakers makes us look at this West and say, Oklahoma City, Denver, I want to know who's going to win that series.
Well, I think that's the series that's exciting because of the fact either one of those teams can come out of that series. If you look at, they both can score, they're both athletic, and then Oklahoma City gave the Lakers a hard time last year. So the winner of that series will play the winner of San Antonio and Memphis. And if San Antonio's not healthy, or if Memphis, I think if they get there, they'll be excited just to be out of the first round. So I look for that 4 or 5 matchup, somebody they go beyond and end up in the conference finals.
I want to take you back to the East for a moment because Derrick Rose is the guy everyone who says is the MVP. I think he's my MVP. Is he your MVP?
He is. Because the one thing about him, he can just score and take over a game. And as I was watching the Indiana game, I kept saying that Indiana allowed them to hang around. And if you do that, a guy like Derrick Rose, a la Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade, those guys are going to take over the game. And so they've got a great team, but Derrick Rose has the ability to do things I always say that coaches can't coach, and that's when you got a great player.
39 points in this ball game, but down the stretch, he goes to the basket like a youngster on a 6th grade team who just takes over and says, I'm going to go to the basket and challenge you to stop it.
They do, and what happens a lot of times is you saw Kyle Korver at the 3. Guys tend to start sucking, and I got to stop Derrick Rose, and all of a sudden they find Kyle Korver, it's a big 3.
All right, on to the New Jersey Nets. You just completed the season, 24 wins. That's a plus 12 over last year. So are you pleased?
Well, we're pleased because it is better than last year, but we've still got work to do. We've got some, we were able to get Darren Williams in here, so we know we have work to do. We've got a lot of cap space, but it is an improvement. I think the one thing I liked about our guys, we were able to set a tone. Our guys competed every night they were on the court.
Can you keep Darren Williams in New Jersey and eventually in Brooklyn?
Yes.
How are you going to do it, my friend?
Well, I look at the fact is, we've got a great owner. We've got a great building, brand new building, the Barclays Center opening up in Brooklyn. And we've got a cap space. We've got young talent. We've got Brook Lopez. So he understands he's on Billboard, so he's the face of our franchise, and we're going to build our team around him.
I heard the quote on Thursday. We want to share it with you. He likes the organization a lot. He likes the direction they're going. He likes Coach Avery Johnson. I definitely can see myself staying here. When you hear those comments, what does it make you feel?
Well, and the fortune for me, I've had a lot of these conversations with him, and the thing about it, July 18th is when he can sign. So we have to wait and see if they can reach the collective bargaining agreement, extend the deal, or get a new deal, and then I'll face that. But I'm pretty confident he's feeling good about where he's at right now.
But the big year is 2012 when Chris Paul is out, Dwight Howard, and you've got your guy Williams, who's also a free agent. Can you do something in the interim next year to continue to tweak and get your club better?
Well, I think we've got a good core, good nucleus that we found this year. Some guys guys. Adding Darren gives us that, and I think there are other guys we can add to this team. And we're not just focusing on 2012 because next year we want to be in the playoffs. I don't want to be sitting there, no offense, talking to you. I'd rather be in the playoffs and watching our team play. And that's our goal for next year, is to get in the playoffs, and then we'll worry about the future after that beyond.
And Williams is the kind of guy that does make everyone better. In the first 2 games with you guys, I think he broke a record for most assists in a debut with a team, 28 assists. I mean, he is an outstanding, pure point guard. There aren't many of them.
No, he is. In his final game for us before he had to have surgery, I think he ended up with 21 assists and 18 points, which was his career high. So he's able to get us in the offense and allow us to score a lot of points. So next year with a full training camp, I'm anxious to see. I think he can go after that record that Scott Skiles had of 30.
I want to take you to Brooklyn, and you're going to have to put a hard hat on like I did on top of your dome when you go visit the arena, which is currently under construction. The Barclays Center is the centerpiece for you guys going forward. Do you feel that you can attract a strong base there?
Well, I think so. I mean, there's 2.4 million people that live in the borough of Brooklyn, and so I think they're going to be able to walk by. It's going to be their arena. They'll be able to look in, and it'll be a transit hub where you'll be able to come right up, and then from Long Island Railroad, everywhere bring you in there. There's Chris Humphreys. So I think it's going to be a happening place because it's right in the middle of Brooklyn, and I think the fans and people who've been there, they haven't had a pro team since the Dodgers left.
And when they start, right? In September
of 2000.
It's the 28th, Brett Yormark's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, he just happened to throw that in there.
Well, they're going to start, and then they're going to have 3 weeks of concerts, and they're going to be
soft opening.
Yeah, there's going to be some amazing concerts.
One of the things you're very involved in is charity. You've done it over the years, and this Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation is unbelievable stuff. I first found out about it when Afleet Alex, the racehorse, the 3-year-old in 2005, was competing in the Triple Crown, and you have a personal touch with this whole thing, don't you?
I do. When I was in Philadelphia,
connection.
Yeah, when I was in Philadelphia, I happened to meet Alex. The Sixers asked me to go present her a check on her second stand, and I did, and had a bond with her and her family, and so we kept going every year. And I was with her all the way through until she ended up passing away. And then her parents, Liz and Jay Scott, started the foundation, and I've been on the board ever since. And it's a great way to raise money for pediatric cancer research. And there are a lot of great people out there doing some great research, cutting-edge research, and we've been able to raise over $20+ million for this foundation.
And you've teamed with Volvo,
who's been there from day one with us as well.
And this is unbelievable. Take a look at this hood that's been signed by all of these NBA players present, and Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Clyde Drexler, the NBA Hall of Famers. And this is basically an opportunity to create an auction that will raise this money for Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. Yeah. And Steiner Sports is helping out on their website, so you can bid on this unbelievable hood.
Exactly. Because I think Darren Williams, LeBron James, I mean, it's amazing. A lot of the guys took their time and really signed it. And it's sealed, so you can, if you want to put it on the car, you can. We're going to put on a new Volvo, you can put it on there.
By the way, 10 seconds or less, NBA playoffs going to be unbelievable this year?
It's going to be unreal. It's going to be better than March Madness.
And you'll be back in it, hopefully, in the near future.
Next year.
No guest appearances.
Next year. Next year, we'll be there, so you can give me live.
It's a deal. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He's live tonight. That's Billy King, the general manager of the New Jersey Nets, the former captain of the 1988 Duke Final Four team.